to order Tuesday, October the 5th, 2021, 6 p.m. Roll call, Sharon, please.
Alderwoman Key.
Here.
Alderman Walls.
Here.
Vice Mayor Harrington.
Here.
Alderman Ward. Alderman Bowling.
Okay. Next thing on the agenda is prayer by Vice Mayor Ray Harrington, and immediately following the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Lord, we come to you now for this meeting for the town of Bluff City.
Yes.
We ask that everything that happens and we vote on and takes place in this meeting be for the best of the citizens of Bluff City. We thank you for everything you do for us each and every day. In your son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There he is. Yeah, he's right on time. Okay. The next thing on the agenda is remarks from District Attorney General Barry Stallers.
Thank you all for inviting me today, and I'll be short, I hope, but I'll take questions. The reasons I'm here, last time I was here was to get your all's approval for the settlement, and of course we did settle that monies, and those monies have been paid out. You haven't received them yet. I think we have to, there's a deadline, I think November 3rd, potentially what they call clawback. But anyway, the money's been dispersed. And I have been going to I've been to Kingsport, I've been to various meetings to talk about what I would like to see done and what I think a lot of other community leaders would like to see done with some of that money. And it would be an approach where every city or county could give a portion or all or some or none of their money if they chose to, because there's no strings attached to the money you get. I mean, you could use them for filling potholes if you want to. You don't have to use it for drug rehabilitation or drug programs, but you can. That's up to you. And I think most people want to use that money. That's why the lawsuit was filed. But the idea that I have, along with Judge Goodwin and Judge Stacy Street over in Carter County and Judge Lisa Rice, is that there is a facility, a prison, basically a workhouse over in Carter County near Roan Mountain that's closing down, and it's in really good shape. And our idea that we would like to get possession of that from the state without having to pay for it, they would give us that. That way the monies that we do have would go further. But what we'd like to do is establish, a long-term rehabilitative regional facility. That means in the counties that file the lawsuit, that the judges who have drug court programs, which only hold like 25 people, that's it. I mean, they can be very effective programs, but they're very small. But what the judges envision is that they would take good candidates that may have criminal charges or criminal convictions but have drug addiction and let them go to that facility. And they would stay there as long as it took to get sober, as long as they cooperated with the program. Because, some programs are, go to a probation officer once a week, once a month. Well, opioids are highly addictive drugs. That's not going to work. And sometimes insurance pays up to like 30 days. That's not going to work. It's just not long enough. But what we thought, we would have a program for folks that could come, and if it takes 12 to 18 months, which is normally what it takes to effectively overcome opioid addiction, they would stay there. But while they're there, they're not only working on the recovery and sobriety, but they're going to get vocational training. And the goal is they would come out clean, they would be trained with a vocation. We would get volunteers and community leaders and business owners because there's a great need for plumbers, for welders, for electricians, sheetrock folks. I mean, all kinds of trades. And what we'd like to do is find out what their talents are, and while they're there working on their sobriety, also working on learning a vocation. And also a part of that would be to teach them how to apply for a job, also how to keep a job. What we find, some of these folks have never really worked very long. And sometimes they come from families that have not worked. And they don't have really a culture of work and appreciation of work like you all do. You all, normally have had regular jobs or do have regular jobs, and you volunteer and then you work here as well. You all understand the value of work. Well, a lot of these folks have never been taught that, never experienced it, never lived it. So part of the training would be not only to keep it, how to get a job, but how to keep a job. That means, following instructions, not getting mad and quitting every time things don't go your way. Understand sometimes you might get other assignments that you don't like, taking criticism and things like that. The other part of we find that there's a real close connection between drug addiction and mental health problems. And so while they're there, not only are they working on the drug problem and they're in vocational training, but mental health counseling. Many of these folks, they get involved in drugs for different reasons. Some because they may have had a car wreck or an industrial accident, are given these medications and get addicted. Some folks suffer from schizophrenia maybe, or severe depression, or other mental problems. And they could work on those mental problems as well, which is what got them down the road to having addiction. And so they could work on all those things. And the goal would be, this would be a regional effort. And they would be screened by the judges to find the best candidates to go in the program. Instead of having 25 in drug court at a time, we could hopefully have 200, 250 at a time. And we could roll people into those programs and roll out. And we wouldn't, and if we, had enough money and we coupled up, or we got together with other agencies like Frontier Health and got other grants and other monies, it could serve any addicts, even if they're indigent. We would try to make it where people would not be prevented from coming if they didn't have money. The whole idea would be to take them based on their needs. And also the programs would be individually based. Some people that I dealt with and learned about during my lawsuit, there were a bunch of people who had worked for years and, like I said, had an accident, had a surgery, were given opioids, were told they weren't addictive, they got hooked on them, and lost their job, lost their marriage, lost their families. But there were other people who were long-time drug users. And there were some people that were homeless and some people that had mental problems. And so the course of treatment for each person would be based on their background. How did they get to their addiction? What's their problem? And it wouldn't be a one, type of treatment for everybody. There would be certain aspects of it that would be for everybody, but there'd be also aspects that would treat the individual problems. And so what I've been talking with Frontier Health, they have certain programs. They could put their programs into this facility. We have, like I said, a number of community leaders that have expressed interest in providing training to get good employees. And there's faith-based programs that would, when they get out, to mentor these folks. Because sometimes they might feel anxiety, they may feel unsure of themselves, and so they need somebody to call, to be with them, to still counsel them, still supervise them in the event they feel like they're about to fall off the wagon, to tell them it's going to be okay and to prevent that from happening. And we would also like to have maybe we got some facilities around these counties that could be halfway houses. Like up in Bristol, there's a facility up there that opened and closed, and I think opened again and closed, and it's near the old hospital in Bristol. Part of it's in Virginia, part of it's Tennessee. We could establish step-down programs. So when you get out and we're looking for housing, you could go and stay there and get a job and transition your way into your own life. We'd also like to direct those folks to pay their fines and costs off that they may have accumulated so they can keep their driver's license or get their driver's license back. Also maybe help them pay child support, get caught up on their payments, then establish a relationship with their children. So that's kind of the aspirations that we have, is to take this money, that each agency or each municipality or city or county would contribute money. We take this money and invest it in programs in this long-term regional care facility. Now, we haven't gotten the state of Tennessee to give us this building. I know Judge Street and Judge Rice have taken several representatives and other leaders on a tour, and they feel like there would have to be some repurposing. But they have beds, they have a kitchen. It's out in the middle of nowhere, where folks wouldn't maybe be tempted to jump the fence and run back home because it'd be a long way for many of them. and it's a quiet setting out away from everybody. And sometimes people don't want a facility like that near their home. Well, this is out near on mountain, so that's not a problem. And so we're trying to get a conversation with the governor's administration to basically give us that facility. And if it doesn't work, we give it back to the state of Tennessee. State of Tennessee doesn't lose anything if they give it to us. Maybe they gain something, which would be more productive citizens in Sullivan County in Northeast Tennessee, people that are working, people that take pride in their work, people that establish relationships with their families, that pay back the costs they owe for restitution, maybe for people they may have stolen from or broke into their homes, pay child support so their children can be supported, build relationships with their families again. And that's what we want to do. I think that's my goal, and I've talked to Judge Street, Judge Goodwin from criminal court here in Sullivan County, and Judge Rice from over in Carter County. And really, it was Judge Street's the person that located this facility. But that's the goal that we'd like to have. And so anybody, instead of taking very few people for rehabilitation, we could take many people. And as I spoke to another group of people, and I thought, we're always trying to develop business here, to bring people to come into the county, to establish their businesses, to provide jobs. But think about it. We've got a generation of people that are addicted to drug. We have one of the highest drug addiction and suicide and overdose rates in the country. How are we going to bring businesses in here unless we have people that are rehabilitated and ready to work? Right now, if you talk to an employer and they give a drug test, I talked to one fellow. He told me that he had an opening for a job a couple years ago, and he had 20 people applied. He said, about 10 of them weren't qualified. The other 10 were qualified, but I think 8 of them failed the drug screen. So how do we bring employers in, or how do we have people that are working here now able to really do work unless they have people that are able to work? So that would be the idea, is to restore some of these people. I will tell you that we have a high overdose rate in this county, and if we begin to rehabilitate people, maybe we can stop that tragedy of death. There is about 1 overdose per day in Sullivan County. And for that, there's about 7 overdose deaths a month. Think about that. Think about the people we're losing to overdose drugs, that if we could rehabilitate those people, put them in a program, and restore their lives. I mean, when people commit suicide, it's not only the person that dies that is lost. It affects their children, their parents, their spouses, their friends, and, people all around, the people they work with. So I think that using this money for that purpose would be a really good opportunity to us to really try to make a dent in the drug addiction problem we have. Now, is it going to solve all the problems? No. Is it going to get everybody? No. But it would be far better than what we have now. It could affect a whole lot more people than we have now. And one of the questions people ask me, well, how will you sustain the programs? From talking to Frontier Health, they're exploring grants. There are grants out there that would be helpful. And there's going to be additional monies come through later. There's the Purdue Pharma. We sued them. They went into bankruptcy, but they're very close to finalizing a global bankruptcy settlement. That money would come here, some. The other defendant we sued, Mallinckrodt, they're also arranging a bankruptcy settlement, which would send money here. There's also a settlement among distributors. There were a number of distributors who just took the drugs from the factories to the pharmacies, and they knew that the amount of drugs they were taking couldn't be medically justified, and they've been sued, and there may be a settlement in that way. The Attorney General's been part of another global settlement. I think that spans over the initial. What I've read is that it will extend payments over like 16 to 18 years. So if you take those other monies, they could sustain the program plus grants, plus nonprofits, and faith-based programs. Would get those, I think, not only get the program started, but keep it going. So anyway, that's the vision that I have for the monies from the settlement. And at some point, you all will be called on to talk about that. Right now, we're just wanting to sell the idea. And, ask you not to, we're not asking for a pledge of a certain amount of money or anything like that. We're just asking, would you be agreeable to contribute? Does this sound like a good idea that you would like to contribute? You may say, no, we want to do something else with it. Bluff City just wants to take it all and create their own program. And you could. Or it could be we want to fill some potholes with that money. You could do that. That's your all's prerogative. There's no strings attached to the money. But what we're trying to find out through the community, through all the counties and the cities that were part of the lawsuit, is to find out if you're interested in this. And if you're interested in it, then we can work out the details of how much different the counties and cities would want to contribute. So right now we're not asking for a specific amount. We're just telling you this idea and see if you think it's a good idea. And if you all at some point think it's a good idea and endorse it, then we can come back. And we had one regional meeting with, and I know Mayor Wells was there for that meeting. I was not able to go. My mother was in the hospital that night, and so I did not make it. I had planned to go, but I understand it was a success. And we had people from Johnson County, Carter County, Unicoi County, Sullivan County, Washington County, Greene County, Hamlin County, Hawkins County, I think they're all talking and asking questions. So I guess what I'm asking you all to think about this, and if you think this is something you're interested in, we'll probably have another meeting, a regional meeting, and we can try to come up with some more concrete ideas about contributions and monies that we can get. The other thing that we have to work on is to try to get the Lee administration to contribute that building in Roan Mountain in Carter County. So we're still working on that. But I feel that I can't see that the governor could actually turn us down. He's often said he wants to support rehabilitative programs. What better program and what better, advertising for his administration would it be to get a program like this off the ground and to help people where the need is worst? Northeast Tennessee has the worst opioid problem. And now we don't have just opioids. When oxycodone, OxyContin, now we have fentanyl. Fentanyl and heroin are the most powerful drugs that we see now. We're seeing them like just as much, if not more, than methamphetamine. And fentanyl is another opioid. It's far more powerful, like 100 times more powerful. And what we're seeing people do is they think they're buying pills. And the people that sell them they have pill presses that look like pills, but they put filler and they put fentanyl in it. And people are thinking, well, this is, oxycodone, I can take 4 or 5 pills. Well, it's this far more powerful drug. And so they take it and they die. So we're seeing a lot of that. We're also seeing a lot of heroin. So there's still an immense problem that we need to address. So that's I think what I have to say. Does anybody have any questions?
Does anybody have a question?
I love that vision.
Okay.
I think that would be wonderful.
Okay, thank you. I think it's a pretty common sense idea to try to help. We need to help ourselves because, we waited for a long time for other people to help East Tennessee, Northeast Tennessee, and this is a chance. We won this lawsuit. We filed it on behalf of Northeast Tennessee. We didn't have to go through Nashville. It came directly here. And so now we need to create a program for Northeast Tennessee, too.
And I thought the meeting was very good.
Okay.
Regional meeting was very good. And it was explained real well.
Okay.
And just like you said, we got to help our own.
Right.
We can't depend on everybody else.
Anybody else have any questions? Sir. We'll be back in touch, me or somebody. I think my next visit's to, I think I may be going to Carter County with Judge Street and Judge Rice to talk to the Carter County County Commissioner. At least I know they're going to be there, and they've invited me to come. And they're also going to, while they're there, talk to the Elizabethan City Council. And I've talked to Kingsport already, and along with Judge Rice and Judge Street. So we're still going to make the rounds and try to convince everybody it's a good idea and get a contribution. So, okay. Anything else? If not, then I know you've got other business, and I always enjoy coming to Bluff City. Mr. Fry, I always enjoy seeing you too, and thank you all for being so accommodating to me. Last time when we okayed the settlement and just being so cooperative, and I appreciate all the good things that Bluff City's doing, and just thank you for letting me go first. And now I'll get out of the way and let other people take care of their business. Y'all have a good evening, okay?
Thank you very much. Okay. Next thing on the agenda is a discussion action. Dave Wilson, engineer with Mattern and Craig.
Thank you, Mayor, and members of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. I was here this evening to speak with you briefly about the getting the rural development project back underway. We did have a meeting, preliminary meeting on September the 23rd with the contractor, Thomas Construction. They came, their field representative, their office project manager, and their vice president, Greg Elledge, came and talked to us that day, and we discussed getting the project started, back off, and I'd anticipated they were going to be here this evening. I did talk to Sam, and they have had an accident on the job site, and the man is injured this evening, and they're having to attend to that, but they will call you first thing in the morning, Mayor, and apologize for that. They have indicated that the materials for the pump station have been ordered. They've done those things ahead of time, and they have their work set up, and right now they should be able to begin right away with the water line work as we discussed, and that is using materials we already had on hand, and then proceeding to the other work until the garage pump station materials are in, and they had no problems with the schedule that they made us aware of, Mayor, and as you can recall. So if y'all have anything regarding that, and then if you want to discuss we have a couple of other items outstanding, the manhole rebid and Chinkapin booster. Those two things, if y'all want to discuss those.
And you might let them know when the bid closes.
October the 14th, and it's going to be our third go-around. We're hoping the third time is the charm. We have twisted arms and called, and hopefully we will receive bids, and have had interest through the planning rooms, and those are the online types of where we make the plans available enough. I have had several calls and interest, and I know Mr. Fry, Mr. Addison from Telex is actively engaged on those, getting the approvals from the owners for on-site entry, right of entry and easement, construction easement.
Do y'all have any questions that y'all would like to ask him?
Thank
Thank you all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, then, with Thomas Construction having a problem, they won't be able to be here. So we were going to have comments for Mr. Wilson after they spoke. So therefore, we'll move on to citizen comments. Anyone that has a comment, come to the podium and give your name, address, and phone number. Okay. And you don't have any comments? We'll move on, discussion and action. Miss Betsy Carrier, but she decided that she would like to wait until the next meeting. So we'll take that off. And my report basically is we have a lot of things going on with the city, and we've been trying to get a swing set and stuff through Sullivan County, but I haven't heard back from them whether they're going to be able to give it in it. It's basically the school system, and I just want you to know that we do have money in the budget for these swings if we don't soon find out something from them. Okay, Mr. Fry, do you have a report?
Collected a little over $12,000 this month in delinquent property taxes. People are doing a good job paying their taxes with a little nudging. That's my report.
A report from the city recorder / CMFO, Sharon Green.
Fund balances as of August 31st, 2021. General fund $1,912,863. Sanitation fund $31,870. Special police fund $13,810. Debt service fund $107,284. Sinking fund $3,094. Water sewer fund $829,104. The total fund balance of $2,884,856.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve, Mayor.
I'll second.
Take a vote, please.
Alderwoman Key,
Yes.
Alderman Boyles,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington,
Yes.
Okay, next thing on the agenda is comments from the board members. Alderwoman Carol Key.
Hello, everybody. Where do I start? I was at a funeral service, and there was a lot of people there, and someone said something really nice about our town. They said, Carol said, you guys must have a good board now. Everybody must be getting along, because I don't see Bluff City and Taper like I used to. So I say all that to say this, my fellow board members, let's continue to stand up, speak up, and speak out for what's right. Let's continue to work together and not work against each other. And let's get some things done. And because we're here to represent the people. Thank you all for coming, and have a blessed day. And remember my sister in your prayers. She had back surgery, so she's having a rough time. Thank you.
Okay, Alderman Jeff Broyles.
Good evening, town family, visitors, community family. Just want to thank you for coming out tonight. Would also like to mention John Crawford, my good friend, who's still down at Vanderbilt recovering, and spoke with Leanne last night. He's been through a very hard way and still continues to need your prayer. And I know Herschel knows about the situation too.
Good man.
Thank you.
Okay, Vice Mayor Ray Harrington.
Thank everyone for coming out tonight. Bluff City's moving in the right direction. Get a lot of good news from Barry, possibly, just got to keep moving forward for Bluff City, doing what's right. And, thank you.
Okay. Alderman Eric Ward is not here tonight. And Alderman Richard Bowling, it's his birthday today, so him and his wife went out for supper, so he said they always do that, so. Okay, report from the city officials and county commissioners. Chief Greg Depew, and I am going to have to read his report. He is out of town. Calls for assistance, 164. Issued citations, 218. Warning citations, 75. Patrol miles, 5,118. Arrest, 34. Offense reports, 25. Alarms, 16. Accidents, 12. Animal calls, 3. MSD reports, 28. Funeral escorts, 3. Domestic assault, 9. Vehicle seizures, none. Missing persons, 0. DUIs, 0. Drug violations, 8. Use of force reports, 0. And in addition to that, for September, open active investigation cases, 22. New cases in September, 6. Cases closed in September, 6. Arrest warrants issued from September cases, 2. And active drug cases, 4. So, okay, and the next thing is Public Works Supervisor and
I went to a fire. They told me to come here. He did. Been here times, but must not have a problem.
okay,
But I do know they got a lot of parts in today. He goes crates everywhere in the shop.
right.
On the-
This is Terry Banner,
And,
water plant
And
operator.
the water plant. Been keeping an average of 48 to roughly 46 feet in the tank at all times. At the very first of September, we was down for a couple of days, and we did the state backwashes according to record. Plant was down, well, just a little bit. The lead carpet shovels, we had to do those twice. Some of the bottles I got back up plumb full, so I couldn't send them, had to be filled all the way to the next. So we had to do it twice, but we still got it done and results back, and no results was high on any lead or copper at all. This rule come out in the late 70s, early 80s, and I think I was in a class at TAUD. They said some children had toured a place. One thing is a water plant. They gave them some bracelets that had lead on it. Either the bracelets was lead or the paint on it was lead. And they chewed on them. Some of them got real bad sick. I think even one of them may have died. So that's where this comes from. The house is built in the late 70s and early 80s. It's possibly got lead copper in it, and that's why they check it every 3 years. This is just, there was no high limits whatsoever. Everybody was good, but now we only do 10 a year. Up there at the house, we had to do 20, so a lot better off over. Well, much better off. We had some bad ones up there, some high ones. And the cuttings from the solder in the copper, when they put the copper and solder together, and also by the chlorine and stuff eating out the liner of the pipes, and the galvanized letting the lead and galvanized leach into the system. Those samples, I'll bring them next time that you see them. Bring them all. They are good. Everything's good at the plant. Any questions?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on with Sullivan County Commissioners Dwight King and Herschel Glover, and Dwight King's not with us.
Mayor, good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Vice Mayor Harrington, Alderman Broyles, Ms. Keith, good to see you. Mr. Fry, keeping those taxis coming in, that's a good sign. And Ms. Green, City Recorder, good to see each and every one of you. I would like to say, touch base, I did receive your letter on the swings and the playground equipment. Give you a little update on the Bluffville Elementary School. I think they're still working on deed searches, still working on what belongs to the school system and what belongs to the county as far as all that goes. I don't think anything's been decided on any of that yet as far as dividing it up or what belongs where.
Okay.
So that's still kind of tied up in a situation where really can't give an answer to Attorney Street and attorney for the school board, Mr. Hull, get together and kind of decide what's what. I know there's some property there that belongs to the county, and then I know there's some property there that belongs to the school department. They're just working through those procedures. I'd say probably, I can't answer the time frame, but probably next month or so.
Thank you.
And we'll see what's available on that. What kind of funding, cost-wise, are you looking at for the swing sets if you guys purchase them out of your general fund?
It was like 30,000, and that's what we have in insurance.
No, it's 20.
20,000.
20,000.
But we were hoping that they would donate those.
Like I said, everything's still up in the air,
Yeah.
so maybe next month we'll have a little information for you. Try to get back with you on that and let you know. I would like to say General Staubus, the presentation that he gave the board tonight, he has worked very, very hard through this process on that. He's been to various meetings with us, and we've worked together and done some things to pass it through the commission to move it along, and he's worked extremely hard. And that ideal that he's got would be something that this area needs as far as a rehabilitation center. We don't have anything right now for these folks. Really don't have anywhere to send them, Knoxville or otherwise. So I think it's a good fit for Sullivan County, Carter County. It's a several county building together to make that happen, and he's worked really hard. We'll have a workshop at the County Commission next Thursday, be at 6:00. The 15th, after our work session that morning, on Friday morning, we have a Finance Committee meeting. I would encourage each and every one of you all to attend that meeting and the future meetings. It will be involving quite a bit of the COVID dollars that's coming into the county. It'll be $15 million this year and $15 million next year. The way this process is going to work, if there's a need through the county, each application will be brought to the Finance Committee. It will go through the Finance Committee. Then what we do then, it's sent back to Nashville. The Comptroller's Office has some folks that's working for them. Each one of these requests will be looked at by this group, and they will determine if it's available for that funding. If so, it comes back to the Finance Committee meeting. Then we take it through the Administrative Committee, the Executive Committee, and then the full Commission for approval. So it's a broad umbrella that every single person on the Commission is involved in. So I would encourage you guys to attend if you can. And we'll be working with fire departments. We'll be working with other departments of the county to do some things for them. So it's a good process, and every request that we have will be looked at, and like I said, be sent for them to determine if it's applicable or not. Because if it's not, and we proceed, then the county is liable for paying that money back. So that's where we're at there. So then our regular commission meeting will be 21st at 6 o'clock. A lot of good things happening in the county right now. Very positive things. The jail, it's moving along. I think there's been a bid or so come in on it, and we're working on some other things for the sheriff's department. I think he's wanting to do a shooting range and some other things over there. So it's been pretty busy in the county, and of course we would love to see each and every one of you attend and talk to us and give us your concerns, and also the citizens of Bluff City. In closing, I would like to say, you mentioned Betsy Carrier. They are doing a phenomenal job with this museum, and I'm going to let her present that to you folks. I hope that Bluff City will support her and her organization on this. It's going to be a very, very big thing for Bluff City to get some folks in here. There's going to be a lot of things on display that people has already donated. Might even put that picture in there of Billy riding that horse with that outfit on that time. You remember when he done that? That would be good to put in there. So a lot of things that's right here in the city of Bluff City and the surrounding area. There's a lot of history here, and it's going to be from the start and up to this point in time. And I know her and Jack have worked very hard on it, and I know Chris has worked very hard on getting the building ready for them, and I'm sure other folks has been involved in that up there, but it's going to be extremely nice for Bluff City. And
she's so excited.
She is a very, very nice lady, and she knows the history.
She does.
She does, and Jack does too. And I think she's got some people involved that's going to be, very, very active in helping with the process.
Right.
So it's good to see y'all. Any questions about what we're doing in the county right now? I'm glad to hear Jeff mention Mr. Crawford. I talked to his dad there the other day, and I think he's doing some better, and we hope to get him back, pretty soon. But the members of the Finance Committee, if you need to talk to any of us, Mr. Dwight King is a member of the Finance Committee. Mr. Larry Crawford is a member of the Finance Committee. Larry Bailey is a Finance Director. The good thing about the Finance Committee, we have other people from the county. The Highway Department Supervisor is also on that committee, and the School Board Superintendent is on that committee, and myself, and of course the mayor's on there. So be looking forward to seeing y'all.
Okay.
Hope your sister gets better.
Thank you.
And does
Thank
well.
you. And with the swing set, you really don't know when we might have any information on it.
No. I think we'll have to kind of wait to see what the county owns and what the school system owns and what the future plans of the building's going to be. I think there's some people that's could be interested in the facility, as far as I know. But it's a very nice building. It's centrally located in Bluffville. It's located in a real hot spot right now. So, but I would like to see some of the use of that stuff go to our local people.
I actually sent letters also to the school board.
Okay. Have you had a reply from anyone on the school board yet?
Well, they told me that, just like you,
Basically the
there's
same thing.
things that
Okay.
has to be worked out before decisions can be made.
Okay. Where are you all going to put this equipment? Have you already decided? Is it going to be down at the pavilion, or is it going to be over at the Little League field? Or
Over, where the old Bluff City Mill was, and where the where the campground is. It's outside of the
Okay.
gate there.
Okay.
And we've already had someone that's donated 2 picnic tables and then a donation of some other things, but that they don't want me to talk about right now.
Okay. Boardwalk looks good as far as
They've been working hard,
as all that. It looks good, and
we appreciate you all.
Well, it was kind of discussed through the budget process because, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it, some of the city commissioners did not want to give Bluff City basically but $4,800 what you got the year before with the COVID cuts and all that. And we had other parks that was getting a $20,000, advance. And Commissioner King is on the budget committee, and he's not here tonight, but if he was here, I'd say the same thing. He stood up for Bluff City on the budget committee and asked for the extra $5,000. And when we went through the process, we had some, bumping back on it because they didn't want to give us any advancement at all. I mean, $4,800 or $4,900. They offered $200 to get us back to $5,000. No, all the other parks are getting this money, so we need some help, especially with the lake coming back up the way it has, and I think we ended up getting $10,000. So
yes, sir.
you all put it to good use on the boardwalk, and that's.
I just like to say that I don't think that the ones that didn't want to give anything extra to the city of Bluff City, they don't realize what all Bluff City does. All the people that use the pavilion, the boardwalk, and I'm so excited about all the children that are fishing down at the boardwalk. And we have people coming from everywhere using that area. And it's all over Sullivan County. And, we don't charge them a penny.
I think when this museum takes place that you're going to see more of that. I really do. I think you're going to see a lot more people coming into town to visit and visit that. It's pretty nice the way they've got it laid out, and we're just happy to see the lake back up and happy to see everybody coming in and spending money and doing the routine like we used to have.
Yes.
So thank y'all. Appreciate your time, and if there's anything we can do, let us know. It's good to see everybody.
Thank you very much. Glad you could come. Okay. Do anyone have any old business?
Well, the only old business that I'd like, we talked about the swing set and all that. I want to see something happening, and I would like, if we could, because I don't know exactly where it's going to be, if we all could meet sometime and just kind of look at the grounds and kind of get a picture for something, and maybe set something down there, like a bench or something. Just, I know it's going to be getting cold, but hopefully at least by spring that we'll have it.
Well,
and as you said, with the pavilion and people coming in and out, I mean, it'd be more things for families to do with their kids. It'd be kind of like a little amusement park or something. Make it exciting. So.
Right now it's been hard also to buy new things. They're putting a lot of stuff on back order.
True.
And
but that bench.
Yeah, those 2 benches.
We can, I want to see the grounds.
And then
we can get something done.
A couple other people is going to donate something else for that area, but they don't want to talk about it until we get the swings in there and the 2 benches.
Right. But if we've got the money, because he don't know if we have to buy the swings, it's what we got the money for.
Well, we can, but if we get those, we could put swings in 2 different areas.
That's true.
Right across from the caboose thing, right in that area, we could have swings there. And I also asked for some other things from from the school board. Things that maybe they don't want, but it's jumping things and climbing things and all that. And then, we could have 2 areas where we could have things, the merry-go-round and just everything so that the children would have. Yes. But anytime that y'all want to go down there to look at it, you
Can we
can see.
set something up that we can meet? Because I mean, I don't know if you guys know exactly where it's going to be, do you?
I do not.
I like to see the grounds, you know.
Mm-hmm. It's Jerry Buchanan. You don't know where the campground is?
Oh, yeah, cool.
And it's just right outside.
Yeah, I
the gate.
know.
Yeah.
But I don't think we've conceptualized where things will be on that plot.
And
That's all she's saying.
There's one other thing, but I shouldn't say anything about that either. But I will say that it would be nice if we can buy some property along the river outside that area.
I concur.
Because we do not have anything outside where the people can get to the bank to fish.
Yeah.
And so, so we're working on that. And anything else? Do y'all have anything else? Main Street, Dave talked about Main Street. That's very important. And hopefully, with maybe in the next week or so, there's a couple more things that needs to be taken care of that the engineer is involved with. And then they're supposed to start, the engineers or the Thomas Construction is supposed to start about the first to the middle of November. And they don't think it'll be a long drawn out thing. So.
One more thing, Mayor. We do
Okay.
need to kind of get together about the bonuses, too. We need to get that taken care of
Yeah.
as soon as possible.
Okay. We'll see if we can work it out this week. Does any of you all have a problem with having the workshop one day this week and then having the special call meeting immediately following?
No, ma'am. Yeah. I'm on board.
Okay. Okay. Does anyone have anything else? Well, we really actually need to put that on the agenda and let the citizens know what's going on, because it'll be like it's behind the citizens' back unless we let them know what's coming up, and if they want to come and attend the meeting, they should be able to come and know and not let it just be something that we did and they didn't know anything about. So we can call a meeting for that.
That's never happened before, has it?
No. And it's really actually more than what y'all think. More than what's on the paper. Yeah. Yeah, it is. But I can talk with y'all and see what else you want to do in the workshop besides the bonus. If you only want to do the bonuses in the workshop, and then, like I said, immediately following do the special call meeting, that'll be fine too. Do any one of you all, can y'all think of a day that would be? I know you don't want to do it on Wednesday because that's church night. So, do you want to do it Thursday of this week or
I'm good any evening, ma'am.
any evening?
Any evening.
But you're not good
I'm
at
fine.
the evening.
Except Friday, I have veterans.
Mayor, if you need me here, I can't be here on Thursday.
Oh, you can't be here Thursday,
Can't be here on Monday or Thursday.
Monday or Thursday.
Why don't you work for one Monday or Tuesday next week?
So you think you can do it on Tuesday of next week? Okay.
And then we might have time to put that on.
Uh,
Have time to put that on our Tuesday.
yeah, we can work it out if that's what y'all want to do.
Sure.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And I'll get you all the information. So you'll be in touch with.
Information.
Huh?
What's the grant that we'll put in on the
The carrier thing, the special call meeting.
Okay, I can get you more information about that. I didn't handle that because of a conflict. Another attorney did, but I can get you some information on that quickly.
and
Great.
up-to-date information.
Okay.
Pardon?
Up-to-date with finals and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll add that on then for the special call meeting.
Tuesday at what time, Mayor?
Tuesday at 6.
6.
Mm-hmm. So is that okay with you all? Tuesday at 6?
Agreeable.
Okay, does anyone have anything else? If not, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn?
I second that motion, Mayor.
Okay. Take a vote,
Alderman
please.
McKee,
Yes.
Alderman Boyles.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harris.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.